What's up, guys? My name is Chase, and I just wanted to address an issue that I just came across today. Watched the Super Bowl yesterday. Pretty good game, whatever. Halftime show was amazing. Lady Gaga, of course, killed it. Then I saw some news reports today about people saying that halftime show had satanic rituals in it, or some kind of Satan is speaking through Lady Gaga. Bullshit, of course, but there's people that buy into this, and Alex Jones is a conservative talking guy that has a YouTube channel. It's got like 1 million subscribers, so he posted a video that said like NFL Satanism exposed or something. So there's a lot of people talking about it, so I guess it's worth addressing that. I think that there's a tendency sometimes for Christians in this country to see people who aren't Christian as not good people, and they tend to demonize people who are actually working towards a more secular society. And so, you know, in government, politicians who are working towards separation of church and state, you know, rights, the human rights of people who are maybe Muslim or Jewish or not religious. I think Christians can see this as some kind of Illuminati movement. And so some people think that the Illuminati is out there working towards a new world order, global government, and they see it as like the Antichrist, and they continue to demonize it as though it's bad. And they have good points as far as, you know, they want less control. They don't want the Illuminati watching them or the government watching over them. And sure, I can get behind that. But I think when it comes to the religious aspect and the spiritual aspect, there's some flaws in the argument that Lady Gaga is a satanic person. There's really no evidence for that. And they'll show pictures of previous halftime shows with, you know, Beyonce or who was it, Katy Perry or Madonna wearing horns or something like that, or it was really just a crown that had, you know, horn-like figures on it, and pointing that towards like some kind of satanic idea behind their message. And it's just wrong to label someone as satanic, because of course people take that negatively. And just because someone doesn't stand for you know, the Christian principles does not mean they are satanic. It's just a flawed argument, flat out. It's just like back in the day, Christians used to call anyone who is not Christian barbaric. And now we know that that term barbaric has a negative connotation as well. And so it's just horrible to look at anyone who is not of your religion and look so negatively at them. Now, there's this big thing about the Muslim travel ban going on right now, of course. And I've talked to a couple of my friends on Facebook about the issue. Some of my friends are, you know, are for this travel ban. They see these countries in the Middle East harboring terrorists, and they're fearful that people coming over to the United States from these countries could be terrorists. They fear for their lives, they fear for their country, and those are real fears, and we need to, you know, talk about that. The thing is that I think that the travel ban from everyone from 7 countries is not a good idea, simply because there's people who are good people that are trying to reconnect with their families. And I know quite a few people that are negatively affected by this travel ban. You know, we already, I think, have laws in effect that we try to vet immigrants. We try to make sure that dangerous people aren't coming into our country. And so, of course, we need to protect ourselves. But you start to take away the rights of other people, and that's where you've gone too far. So I get that maybe a lot of Christians look at the Muslim faith and they see a lot of hatred in the Muslim faith. They see a lot of violence behind the actions of certain Muslims. And it's fine to criticize that, and I would criticize that as well. I've seen quite a few instances of Muslim people beheading Christians and just violently attacking others. And so Muslims have the same flaws. Of course, they see their religion as the only true religion, and anyone who is not a follower of Islam is going to be wrong and is going to be someone who is not as valued. And so this idea of my group and everyone else is a dangerous one, because you immediately start to demonize everyone else and you immediately make it okay to kill them, thinking that I'm doing this for God and my God is the only true God. All of your gods are false gods, and this idea of you're wrong and I'm right because my book told me that I'm right is sort of a flawed argument, of course. I mean, as soon as you take a step back and look at the world and you see how many cultures and religions there are, you start to see that, there's no way that you're right. Say you're a Muslim or a Christian, you think you're the only true religion. You don't see the validity of other worldviews. There's a lot we can learn from different cultures and stuff. So this whole idea basically of looking at others as wrong and defending your own beliefs is okay until you start to demonize them and call them satanic and stuff like that. There's actual really good people that are working towards a world that works for everyone. And I think a world that works for everyone is going to be more secular. There's going to be a separation of church and state. We cannot be run by a government, by a Christian government. And it's funny that the Christians here in the United States are very fearful of Muslims who are trying to create a Muslim government. ISIS, Islamic State, Sharia law. I talk to people who are very fearful of Muslims coming to America, and they think that the Muslims want to create Sharia law in America. And they're very scared of this, and I'm telling people, like, you really don't have to worry about that. Like, we're not going to become an Islamic state in America. We're still majority Christian with a growing number of kind of anti-religious, maybe secular, maybe spiritual but not religious group that is largely younger, more open-minded, maybe more knowledgeable of other worldviews, and just grew up maybe with a group of friends that were not all Christians. I went to a Christian school when I was younger, but I definitely met more non-Christians in my life than, say, my parents did when they were growing up. I'm pretty sure my mom, when she was younger, everyone she talked to was probably Christian. There was very little influence of other cultures. She's told me that she had very few people in her town that were, even black or Asian or Latino. I mean, just very white. So, when you get in this bubble of this world where you have everyone around you that's similar to you, and then you see these outsiders, and it's just kind of weird. Maybe it's a little bit jarring to know that what are they all about, and it's just the unknown. It's the fear of the unknown. And then we come to today where we see it's not unknown. Maybe we look at the Middle East and we see the bad things that they're doing over there. Obviously their whole government and their whole situation is a mess right now. But, we have to know that America had its part in that, and really we helped to destabilize the Middle East. So you can't totally demonize a whole religion, especially all other religions. So especially actually the whole secular movement, looking at this idea that the Illuminati is trying to control the world and stuff, little bit of conspiracy theory, but I see the truth is that yes, the world is moving towards a global society. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that the idea of being a global citizen is the idea that we value all human life, not just our own country. Donald Trump is a patriot, he's a nationalist, wants to defend our country and kind of put walls up and keep everyone else out. It's this idea of the us versus them that only leads to conflict. If we can be more inclusive, if we can be, celebrate diversity, I think that we can more easily create a world that works for everyone.